Yes, we'll begin self-love, which is basically the words we'd use to describe Yuri. Let's go. Can't wait for Natsuki to carry another stream. Wait, hold on, it seems weird. Alright, no, everything's working. That was weird. Oh fuck, I didn't even read that. It's only been one day since Yuri's letter was delivered to Natsuki with Monika's help. Because Yuri doesn't do anything herself, but takes all the credit for being a likable character despite the fact that she's not. Because Yuri chose not to attend the club meeting that day, she and Natsuki haven't faced each other since. Alright, you know what, I'll leave dialogue aside until we get a further understanding of the situation. Although it's only lunchtime, Yuri finds herself anxiously counting the hours until she'll need to face the outcome of her efforts, whether it's good or bad. And because the passing by of the students was making her feel even more anxious, Yuri picked out the most secluded spot she could find to spend her lunch. Because this staircase is under maintenance, no student would have any reason for coming here, apart from the vending machine that is sitting right there. And apart from the fact that magic will bring Natsuki here because, I don't know, the plot said so. Tasty dihydrogen monoxide. It's such a relaxing feeling to have a moment of solitude in the middle of a frantic school day. Whoa! Magic! The plot determined it. I actually kind of wish this hadn't happened. Eep! Do you know how, like, lame this is? The statistical anomalies in these last couple of episodes are through the roof. I can't really, like, picture how this one is supposed to be. Is this hostile? Is this genuine questioning? What are you doing here? I just... Yuri grips her book with enough force to wrinkle the pages beneath the pressure of her thumbs. Squeeze the book out of existence! Well, what are you doing here? You didn't even answer the fucking question. God! How unbearable. I just came to get a drink from the vending machine. Wow. What a twist. The other one is out of the drink I like. Yuri notices Natsuki fidgeting with a few coins between her fingers. She nods, avoiding eye contact. What? Ugh, how dare you want a drink? Oh man, what a stuck-up bitch. Natsuki, also looking away, shuffles over to the vending machine. It's so quiet that every one of her movements seems to reverberate through the entire stairwell. After far too long, she finally receives her beverage, which then she fidgets with in place of the coins. It's some kind of iced tea. But instead of leaving right away, Natsuki just stands in place. She glances all around her. It's like way too quiet back here. It's creepy. I mean, that's not what I meant, really. I mean, it's totally cool that you're doing your thing or whatever. Like, I can see how it suits you. So, wow, way to make things awkward. I think the word you're looking for is surprising, unnerving. You know, when you're given a direct comparison, the usual busyness of the school compared to this like nothingness, it can be kind of unnerving. Surprising might be closer to what you want. Not because I think you're creepy or something. I didn't mean that either. You know, I'm just gonna stop talking. That seems like a good idea. It's okay. Everything is okay. Yuri finds herself attempting some words of comfort after hearing Natsuki stammer herself into dejection. I don't know, you could go like, oh, I understand what you mean, or oh, I understand it's not how you interpreted it, or whatever. Seemingly in response, Natsuki approaches the base of the staircase and hesitantly sits herself down next to Yuri. Look, I'm prepared for Natsuki to entirely carry this, but this is kinda lame. I would have actually enjoyed a actual interaction in the club room. You know, in response to the situation. But no, magic has to have this situation come out of nowhere here. In some empty stairwell that no one's fucking heard of. Well, I can leave if you want. Yuri shakes her head. Natsuki twits, that's what we're doing now. We twits the cap off our drinks and takes a sip. Despite receiving Yuri's general permission, Natsuki doesn't say anything else. Yeah, because Natsuki needs permission to do things. Fucking disgusting. I know that's not what the story's actually saying here, but it's kind of how it feels. Yuri continues to pretend to read. I don't know, I was trying to think of a joke there. I really couldn't come up with anything. The best I got was, haha, Yuri can't read, but, like, what? Oh no, she's in this socially awkward situation that she put herself in. She can't read. Anyway, and the two of them just sit there for a long time. The tension seems to fade a little bit as time passes. Really? Does it now? Even without any words, this seems to mean at least something. Though it's not clear what that may be. Nothing. You're sitting there in silence. Lunch ends more quickly than expected. Natsuki's the first to stand up with her empty drink bottle. Are you coming by today? To the club? Yuri nods. I'm sorry for being so awkward. I'm really bad at talking about this stuff. I just can't for some reason. I don't know why. But I want to, eventually. There's no rush. I promise. Thanks. Wow, look at this. Natsuki, who's in the right, by the way. Just to point it out, Natsuki, who's in the right, still wants to grow and develop to help comfort other people's problems. Fucking hate Yuri so much. She just sits there and goes, I'm the victim because I was mean first, but because someone retaliated in a way that actually kind of made sense given how I treat them. It's not fair. It's the next day. Oh my god. Natsuki appears from around the corner and steps up to the vending machine, glancing at Yuri as she does. Today she seems to be holding some kind of book as well. Oh, you're here again. Well, I just came here to read this because there aren't any people around here. Oh, Natsuki, you don't have to be awkward about it this time. I thought you didn't like how quiet it was. I'm about to commit violence. Well, I don't, but there's no people here. I see. Natsuki sits down. Oh, I'm surprised Yuri didn't have a fucking hissy fit going, people, I'm here. Oh, do I not count? Natsuki sits down. The mood feels much different today than it did yesterday. After yesterday's lunch and the club meeting that followed, Natsuki and Yuri are beginning to feel more relaxed around each other again. Although Yuri's letter is still lingering in the back of Natsuki's mind, she continues to detour around it. But it's okay that I'm here? Yeah, I don't care. I mostly just don't feel like dealing with the crap I get from my friends about it. Especially since, like, they all assumed I just stopped reading manga after I joined the literature club. Not that I'm trying to hide it from them exactly, but I just don't want it to come up again now after I've waited so long for this new volume to come out. Literally months at this point. You don't have any other friends who are into manga? Not unless online friends count. And sorry, but that's different because she's not exactly into it. She just likes it. You know what I mean? Honestly, you're lucky that the books you're into at least just look like books, so you don't have to feel like everyone is constantly judging you by what you're reading. That would be so awful, especially since I already hate attention so much. Well, I guess it's a good thing I have thick skin, I guess. By the way, I would totally recommend finding some friends online if you haven't already. If you're like me and have no one else to share your hobbies with. Oh, I have online friends. Since middle school, actually. I was especially desperate back then. It's somewhat embarrassing to reminisce about those days. And sometimes I feel like me from a few years ago would have benefited from a good smack across the face. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure the you from about 5 seconds ago and at this current moment in time would benefit from a smack across the face. Oh, whatever, we were all just stupid kids back then anyway. Some of the fanfics I wrote, thank God I used a pseudonym. But I liked it at the time. I got a lot of fulfillment out of it. Yeah, fulfillment. And plus, I can look back on it and say that I've become a better person since then. Yeah, too bad Yuri can't say the same thing. So, I don't think I'll change anything. I wonder if in a few years from now, we'll think the same thing about our current selves. Probably. That doesn't make you feel uncomfortable? No, because it means that you've changed. It shows that you've grown as a person. Of course not. I don't care what other people think of me, especially someone who doesn't even exist yet. Oh man. What an opinion. Fuck future me, she doesn't even exist yet. Alright, here. Sip, sip. Another tasty shot of dihydrogen monoxide. Natsuki raises her hand to her face and forcibly slaps her on cheek. That's me from the future coming to terms with me right now. Also, ow, I didn't mean to do it that hard. Yuri doesn't seem to react. But then, to Natsuki's surprise, Yuri shyly looks the other way before lifting her arm and doing the exact same thing to herself, loudly smacking her cheek. She turns red and stares into her lap, but is unable to hide a smile as though it was a really funny joke. Ah, that's what I'm talking about. I didn't even know you had it in you. I don't even know why I did that. Maybe I thought it would be funny. Well, clearly you did. Sorry I keep distracting you. You said you were looking forward to reading, but I keep going on about all this nonsense. I'll let you get on with your reading. Yeah, maybe you need another slap. You're trying to get closer. Natsuki's doing this to get closer. If she really didn't care, she would have walked away and already started reading. Oh, right. Yeah, I guess I'll do that then. Wow, look. The conversation ends and quickly Natsuki opens her book. Look at this. The two of them read silently for the remainder of the lunch hour, but the whole time, Yuri feels distracted by a twist of regret over having so abruptly forced an end to their conversation. Good, you should. That's the point. Natsuki did it on purpose. Oh. You're back? Yeah, I'm here to lay low again. Another day has passed. I actually don't know how much energy I put into Natsuki's voice when I first started all this. Hey, did you buy that? Natsuki quickly notices a bottle of iced tea on the staircase where she normally sits. Yuri nods, avoiding eye contact. What, like, for me? But you didn't know if I was coming here today. What if I didn't show up? Well, I would have drunk it myself, I guess. It was a stupid thing to do. No, it wasn't stupid. I just thought... Never mind. What I meant to say is thank you. And that's a really nice gesture. It's okay if you don't feel that way. Oh, strangle me, please. Put me out of my misery. I do. It was the other things I didn't mean. I swear, please believe me. Yuri pauses and then nods. Talking is hard. I get it wrong a lot too. So, I believe you. Natsuki exhales in relief. She then sits down next to Yuri and takes the drink. Knowing Yuri, she was probably overthinking it so much that Natsuki's tepid response filled her with self-doubt. I'll do something nice for you next time. Please don't feel obligated. Oh, pardon me. Oh, you know what? I just realized I forgot to say Happy Easter at the start of this. I think. Maybe. I forgot. I was too busy bagging on Yuri for being an unlikable character. Again. I want to do nice things too. Okay, thank you. You can thank me after I figure out how to do something nice. I'll do it then too. Natsuki sighs. Nothing. It just reminds me how I haven't been getting along with my friends lately. Is that why you've been coming here? Well, no, not exactly. I haven't been avoiding them on purpose or anything. There are just other things I'd rather be doing during lunch lately. I like being around them when we're all just having fun, but they also just can't take anything seriously. So when I'm I don't know, feeling serious, then their attitudes just really get on my nerves. And it's only gotten worse since I joined the literature club. How come? I don't know. I feel like I used to be really good with just putting up with it, because it'd be so stupid to cause drama over a joke I didn't like or something. But I just have a hard time doing that lately. But it's my fault for being overly sensitive. If I have a problem, I'm not gonna demand for everyone around me to change. But yeah, no. Monaka and Sayori don't really agree with that kind of thing. But they're not in my position. It's so easy for them to say that you should just communicate your feelings or whatever. But it's not like my friend group does that kind of thing. It would just be me making an embarrassment of myself. Wow, look at that. Look at that characterization. Fuck, I love it how Natsuki is actually like a well-written and characterized character. Crunchy dihydrogen monoxide time. It's not actually crunchy, that would be stupid. But as I was saying, Natsuki has so much, and she's right that she can't demand that everyone else change, or that communication is always the answer, because sometimes it's not. Sometimes communication just breaks down and makes everything worse. So, let's go. Sorry, none of this has anything to do with you. I don't know why I'm talking about it. It's okay. I like listening. What? Listening to other people's problems? Yes. That's so weird. Sorry. I just like learning about people. Do you think it's weird? No, that's not weird. I just probably misunderstood it, so I don't know. Does that mean I should keep going? If you'd like. Okay. Well, I don't know what to talk about now. What are some of the things you like about your friends? A lot of things. I mean, they're really fun to hang out with. Like, after school and on the weekends. And they really like my baking. And it's so fun to complain about school together. They make me laugh a lot, and we have a lot of good memories and inside jokes. I'm bad at a lot of those things. So, are those all are those all important to you? Well, kind of, but they're not things I need to get out of everybody. Natsuki hitting it home with what makes us human. There are different aspects of us. Like for Natsuki, these things are important. For me, my friend group doesn't have too many inside jokes. I actually don't think I can think of one anymore. But we're just people who like to hang out, you know? Go out, do stuff. Everyone in the club is different from that, but I'm still friends with them too. Well, Sayori likes your baking. That's not a personality trait. That's not how you determine friendship. If friendship was determined by people liking your baking, then I'd have a lot more friends than I actually do. And she makes you laugh, and she complains a lot. That doesn't mean she's anything like my other friends. Well, unlike them, she's a nice person who cares about your feelings. Fuck, you crossed the line. Excuse me? How about you don't talk about my friends that you don't know anything about? Yeah, fuck. Wow, you're terrible. Natsuki stands up. No, wait. I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I didn't want to say something bad. Please don't leave. Natsuki sighs and shakes her head. It's fine. No, it's not. Yuri once again crossed the line. You don't make these assumptions. Fights happen. That doesn't mean like everyone else is evil. As long as you understand that you can't just judge people like that. That's all Yuri ever does. Like, she lives to be judgmental. Fuck, this entire situation started because she was being judgmental. I'm sorry. Natsuki sits back down. You can't just compare friends like that and like measure who's better than who. Everyone's different. I'm sorry. I just don't like people who want to hurt you. Hypocrite. Hypocrite. Yeah, can we get hypocrite in chat? Can we get Yuri as a hypocrite in chat? I'm kidding. A moment of silence stretches between them. They don't want to hurt me. We just like to tease each other about stupid things. It's fun. I don't like that. Yes, and that's normal. There's a reason that each friend, when you make friends, that you build different relationships with them, even if they're all similar, almost identical, but every person, every interaction is different and unique, because every one of them it has different things they require, different things that they like and dislike. Well, that's why I'm friends with them and you're not. Well, I did not mean to phrase it like that. You like it? Sometimes. Like, if someone's going to be the joke, you have to be prepared to be the joke yourself. Just don't worry so much about me. It's not worth it. I'm sorry. I wish I knew how to help with social conflicts. You have caused more social conflicts than any human being I've met. Like how Monica can fuck. I think you got the wrong human being there. Sayori dealt with half of the social conflicts in the side stories. Thank you very much. She's good at these things. Not really. Also, I don't want help. Sometimes it's just stuff I have to deal with myself. I love how blunt Natsuki was here. Not really. Monica really isn't that good with social conflicts. That's what Monica and Sayori never seem to understand. Sometimes all you have to do is look at them wrong and they're like, oh, what's wrong? Is everything okay? I just want to mind my own business sometimes, and I decide myself if I want to talk about things. A completely fair mentality. It can actually get irritating when people, like, constantly ask if you're alright when you just really want to be left alone. The only one who understands that is you. No, wrong, couldn't be further off from it. So you really shouldn't be so hard on yourself. You're not as bad as you think. Cap or eyes. Oh, you don't need to reassure me or anything. Oh, I'm choking on the bullshit. I mean that. Plus, it makes sense that someone who doesn't talk a lot would make a good listener. Thank you. You're also nice. Natsuki is a lot of things. Nice is one of them, but not all the time. Natsuki also has like this firm grip on reality. Ironically, more so than Monica, who literally interacts with reality and bends her own reality to her will. Kinda ironic that, but you know. It's really hard for me. It doesn't come naturally at all. It's so weird because I always thought of myself as someone who can just say whatever's on my mind. But I feel that only works when I'm annoyed or upset, or I want to say something mean. And yet, despite that, it further reinforces a more sympathetic aspect of yourself, because you are constantly kicked down by the world, and yet you are so strong despite this. Why am I like that? You don't have to answer that. I'm just talking to myself. Yuri nods and remains silent. I love how Yuri's mouth is just like a dot. Someone's pen ink just like spilled out. Natsuki notices her fidgeting with the pages of her book. How come you like reading so much? Oh, well, a lot of reasons. But I just get sucked into it so easily. It's so immersive. Like I want to be part of it. I think there are a lot of things about people in real life that make me feel uncomfortable and frustrated. Especially when it comes to following social conventions and group interactions. I just don't really understand it and have no real desire to participate. But it's different with books. It feels like I always want to be around the characters. I feel such a strong emotional connection with them in ways I've never felt with real people. Yeah, fuck you, literature club. You've never done anything for me. There's the evidence right there. And you may be thinking, oh well, maybe Yuri's speaking in past tense. It would be, I felt such a strong emotional connection with them in ways that I hadn't felt with real people. Or something similar to that. Or that I didn't feel with real people. Get rid of that never and put something that is more like, oh, who fucking cares? So, in a way, it seems I can feel more real. Sometimes feel more real than real. Fuck it, I'm not fixing that. Really? Oh, I forgot to say more real than real life, but no one cares. It's that hard for you to be around real people, like all the time. Fairly often, especially in group settings. When people are making all kinds of conversations and saying jokes and all of that, I don't know what to do. I just disengage. Oh, that doesn't get lonely? I don't think so. I can still enjoy spending time with people one-on-one, and I have online friends too, of course. Do you ever wish that you could be friends with the characters in your books? All the time? Sometimes so badly that it makes my heart ache. And then you realize that you'd run into the same problem because these social conventions would still elude you. Yeah, me too. Really? A lot. Like, more than anything. Oh, that was a mudder, fuck. After Natsuki mutters that, silence fills the stairwell once more. Damn, Natsuki hit with the feels, and I've got to say this has been Yuri's least egregious appearance yet. Can I actually kind of... Not really, I actually can't sympathize with Yuri. Oh fuck, I don't remember if I read that, so... Yeah, silence fills the stairwell once more, but it's a mutual silence, one full of understanding. Ah, fuck it, let's go. Self-love too. Hey. Oh, hello. I almost thought you weren't coming today. Yeah, fuck, I wish this would go back to the club room. Yeah, well, lunch is already more than halfway over. Natsuki had typically been meeting Yuri in the stairwell much earlier, since it had been such a good way of dodging her friends when she didn't feel like seeing them. But today she's holding a large plastic container in both hands. I ran into my friends today, so I hung out with them for a while. Is that so? Yeah. I was in a good mood today, so I figured I should. I hadn't seen them in a while, which I had to come up with an excuse for, but I expected that. Plus, I've way more of these than I know what to do with, so I figured I'd just share with them too. I can't do English well. As she sits down, Natsuki opens the lid of her container. You made cupcakes. You know it. It's been a while at this point, so I figured it was about time again. You can take one if you want. Yuri takes a cupcake and carefully twirls it around her fingers. It's brown with dark green frosting and immaculately shaped into a floral pattern and topped with some glittery powder. How pretty. I just ate, so I might not be able to finish it. Are they for the club? Yeah, I guess so. I didn't really think about it, I just made them. I just thought that because green is Monica's favorite color, right? It is. Well, yeah, but that's not really... Yuri takes a small bite. This is green tea flavored. I love green tea. Oh, do you? It's some random idea I wanted to try, so... Don't laugh at me. I'm not... I just felt happy. Oh, sorry. Usually when... Never mind. What I meant is that I'm glad. Sorry for saying dumb things again. I just wanted to do something nice. And this is something I just happen to be good at. And I do know that you like them from past experience. Yuri turns red, recalling the time she treated herself rather generously to Natsuki's cupcakes. Ironically, her mouth is too full of cupcake for her to stammer an excuse, so she said it was for a disapproving look. How did you get into baking? Oh, well, I don't know. It kind of always just appealed to me. Well, a few years ago I read this one manga with a lot of baking, so I got like super into it for a while. I was probably making stuff almost every day. But it was something I always knew I liked anyway. It's like, baking isn't like art. When you get good at it, it gets more delicious too. I'm struggling to imagine myself putting my heart into something so artistic, knowing it would be eaten afterwards. Yeah, maybe you're too practical for it. I think I prefer to be on the receiving end. And that's my other favorite part about it. It's something I can do that makes a lot of people happy, like unconditionally. Everyone is always so thankful, and in that moment you get to be like the bringer of joy. Oh man, Natsuki. It just means so much because Natsuki always feels like left out and in pain. and to bring other people the joy that she can't usually feel. Oh, Natsuki, you're like an angel. I don't know, it just makes me feel valued. Yeah, I guess that. So, you were able to make up with your friends today? There wasn't really anything to make up with them about. We weren't really fighting or anything. You weren't? Maybe I misunderstood. It only turns into a fight if I lose my cool. And that's just unnecessary drama. It only makes things worse. So, they're not going to stop? I mean, it only happens sometimes anyway. It's just the way they are. I'm the only one who ever has a problem with it. It's not worth it. Especially since I have nowhere to go and I don't feel like hanging out with them. Oh, I see. The cupcake's empty wrapper audibly crinkles as Yuri clenches a fist. I'm glad that the situation is resolved. And that you don't have to avoid them anymore. Yeah, me too. And I don't have to bother you during your alone time anymore. I'm sure you have a lot of reading to catch up on. Yeah. Natsuki, no, you're usually so good at reading the room. I know that cupcakes are basically nothing compared to all the stuff you've done for me. But it's the best I can do. So you can have the rest of them. Natsuki grabs the box and slides it over to Yuri's feet. Natsuki, you're misunderstanding. You're misinterpreting. And Yuri's gonna blame you and act like a child again. Yuri stares at the box. She then shakes her head and slides them back. You should save them for your other friends. But I made them for you. Natsuki's voice whines as she protests. I know. I like them very much. Exactly as you thought. You succeeded. But I know you care about making your other friends happy too. And if this is the way you know how to make that happen, then I'm not going to take that from you. No! They're for making you happy. You make me happy. You're worth more than cupcakes to some people. That's why they want to spend time with you and be your friend. Without warning, tears pour from Natsuki's eyes. She pulls her knees to her chest and starts sobbing into her arms. Natsuki? I'm such a bad person. Yuri stammers, feeling panicked. I didn't mean to say something bad. I actually think this is the one time where you didn't say anything bad. Natsuki feels like she's forcing herself onto you because she wants to fix the situation. And an awkward confrontation with her friends helped push that even further. And now Natsuki doesn't know like how to feel in this situation. I didn't mean to say something bad. Natsuki shakes her head and wipes her eyes. You didn't. Natsuki tries to choke back her sobs, but struggles to speak through them. I just really hate myself sometimes. And it feels so wrong when you say those nice things to me. Like, I don't deserve it. I'm sorry. No, I am. I'm so difficult. And I can't think of a single good thing about myself that somebody would like. Damn, Natsuki get hitting hard. It's actually kind of painful to sit through this. And I hated myself for bothering you during lunch. I'm pretty sure I said that. Well, I didn't say that she hated herself for it. But, you know. I just thought it was my chance to be a good person, and be like nice and do the things you wrote in the letter. If I knew if I tried in the club, Sayori and Monica would be super annoying and make a huge deal out of it. You know, I think a lot of those negative things too about myself. I never felt like a good person. I always scrutinize everything I say, and later I feel like I said the wrong things. And I just spend so much time thinking about myself, hating myself, and feeling like everyone else must hate me too. So, I understand some of that through my own experience. And that's why I wanted to write the letter and express my feelings. See, this shows how much Natsuki wants to change. She constantly seeks to improve, to make herself better for other people. Like, she said to herself, Monica and Sayori would just kind of make things worse accidentally. Or make a big deal out of it, which would inadvertently make everything worse. It pained me to see those things in someone else I saw in myself. No, that's because you were projecting. Natsuki actually had very little of the things that you claim that she actually did. Also, Natsuki was the victim, but you know, we're having a wholesome moment here, so we'll hold off on bagging out Yuri for a little while. Natsuki sniffles. Yuri rustles through her bag, pulls out some tissues, and then hands them to Natsuki. Monica told me that it takes a good person to reflect on these things. The desire to improve yourself, that makes you a good person. So don't worry so much. And that's what makes Natsuki a good person, because she doesn't only try, she more often than not succeeds in improving herself or improving others in a way they didn't realize was necessary. Also, there are things about you that people would like, so like what? Like how you're fun for people to be around, and you're not shy, and you know how to make people laugh. Oh, heartburn. Not very, really. I don't know. And you're very passionate about things, and you know how to take the lead, and you care about other people, and just A lot of things. Oh. Well, now you're making me feel really embarrassed. Well, well, you're the one who asked. And you don't think I feel embarrassed? Natsuki tries to hide a smile. Then she sighs as it fades again. Every time I come here, I always think that that's the last time. But then I keep coming back for some reason. Is that bad? Just really confusing. I mean, my friends and I go way back, so ditching them all the time feels... I don't know. Feels like what? Natsuki's voice gets quiet. Maybe I'm scared that they'll get mad at me. I really don't know what to do. She pauses. Yuri stares into the distance. If you're wondering why I stopped, I ran ahead and got very annoyed and disappointed at Yuri again after providing what has been a pretty thrilling chapter for character development. Reading the words, tracing her eyes along the patterns of the floor tiles while she thinks to herself is kind of irritating. What would you do, hypothetically, if your friends were happy for you instead of mad at you? Happy for what? Happy that your new club is making you happy? Well, that's just not a fair hypothetical. Natsuki says that, but with little confidence in her voice. I always told myself I don't rely on the approval of others to be happy. Wearing a strong mask is one thing, but humans are a very social species, and whether we like it or not, we kind of rely on the approval of others. Kind of, it's what helps us excel further, but also in a very twisted way holds us back. So yeah, just another philosophical Dr. 391 moment if you need to constantly question what your humanity is worth. And I still feel that way, but spending time with people who put me down whenever I don't have their approval, that's probably what's making me so confused. Because I'm threatened out of the things that should make me happy. So no matter what, it's like I have to be unhappy to be happy. It's making my head hurt. That must make it really difficult to feel comfortable with yourself. There's further reinforcement that Natsuki is in this perpetual hell where the world around her is designed to hold her back. She can never be happy because someone else always has to bring that down for her. Truly, what a terrible fate. And it's for such a surprisingly likable character. Like a character that is written to be that unlikable, but is so often proven, even when she's not the focus, even when she's put up as the in the Yuri storyline, the main story, Natsuki's still likable. She does things for other people, and what she does to the protagonist is just like, oh, well, I'm not interested. But the protagonist will completely blow off Natsuki's existence because, well, that's not the girl I care about. But in Monika's case, not Monika, in Yuri's case, it's like, oh, I guess it's not who I'm really interested in. Having a more sympathetic view for Yuri, honestly, it proves, it's what makes Natsuki so strong and such a character that I feel is really well written. Also, because she doesn't blame, despite the fact that she'd be very right to do so, she doesn't blame everyone else for her problems. Being made to feel like you're wrong just for being the person you are. It goes against everything I believe in, doesn't it? It goes against the kind of person I want to be. I'm fed up with it. I'm fed up with a lot of things. Natsuki presses her palms into her forehead and shakes her head. I know what's best for me, but I keep convincing myself out of it. It's so much easier to be comfortably unhappy than it is to do something so scary. To do what? You know, to end it with them. Natsuki nods. I didn't think you were actively considering that as an option. I wasn't until recently. It's just one of those things where, like, it's been a certain way for so long that you get used to it. Like, so much of you's gone into it. So much of that feels like that's how your life is. And throwing it away is like throwing away such a big portion of your life. It makes me feel sick to think about it. Natsuki sighs. It's just really scary. It's terrifying. What are you scared of? I don't know. A lot of things. Like being alone. Not having anyone to talk to or hang out with. Not being able to replace what I have with them. And I don't want them to hate me. I'm scared they'll hurt me for going against them. Physically? Not physically, but Yuri clenches her fists. Natsuki. What? If anyone even thinks to cause you harm, I will unleash hell upon them. Natsuki snorts in laughter. Don't laugh at me. Sorry, I like that. That's all. Oh. Well, I meant it. I know you did. Natsuki gives Yuri an endearing look. I needed it. As the conversation Natsuki again slides her box of cupcakes over to Yuri. Just take them, okay? I don't want other people to have them anymore. Are you sure? Natsuki nods. I'm sure. I will then. I'll enjoy them. Natsuki looks away, but a feeling of warmth spreads through her. She holds on to that feeling, knowing it will give her courage. Ah, you're here first today. Mm-hmm. And you brought reading material. Mm-hmm. Natsuki is sitting in her usual spot, this time holding a volume of manga while her lunch sits beside her. Yuri sits down as well and opens her own book. It sucks when a good series has to come to an end. Like, it's such a big part of your life, and then one day there's just nothing left. It makes you feel so empty. Unfortunately, I'm about to experience that myself. I'm on the last book of this series. That sucks. But there's also something satisfying about it, letting a story conclude. I don't know if I'd want it to go on forever. Yeah, a story that goes on forever can be kind of lame. Obviously, there are examples where a story going on forever is good, but for the most part, it doesn't tend to. Like, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, just to name one that went on for too long and kinda hurt itself for doing so. Maybe. But there are some things that I wish I could. On the other hand, have you ever read something that's overstayed its welcome? Yeah, definitely. I can think of at least one thing that I've read that got pretty unbearable like halfway through and the ending really sucked. Is this a jab at the Promised Neverland? Because I have a feeling it's a jab at the Promised Neverland. So it sucks when something good has to end, but it also sucks when they just keep inventing more plot until you don't like it anymore. I guess it sucks either way. Sounds like the Promised Neverland, alright? Mm-hmm. Well, it's just the nature of all things. They come to an end. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to yawn. The two fall silent. They slowly eat while making their way through their respective reading material. Except Natsuki doesn't seem to be touching her food at all. You don't go out during the weekends, right? Excuse me? Like with friends, at the mall or downtown or whatever? I'm not a total shut-in, you know. My bad for making an assumption. Well, I'm sure I go out less than other people, like you and the others in the club. I don't really meet with friends and arbitrarily spend time like that. I'm usually meeting with my board game group. Yeah, I'm with Natsuki. Board game group? It doesn't matter, it's just more nerdy stuff. Play competitive Monopoly? It's what... Why do you ask anyway? I was just curious. I just realized that I couldn't picture it, so I was just curious. Yuri looks at Natsuki and realizes that she's shaking. Don't look at me like that. Sip. Sorry. Natsuki pulls her knees into her chest and puts her head down. I can't take this. Did I do something? Yuri gets flustered, her mind racing over what she may have said or done. I did. I ended it. I texted them earlier, telling them. And then I just blocked them because I was so afraid of their responses. And now it feels like I'm dying inside. Oh, that's... I'm sorry. Well, at least you got the correct response this time. I'm sorry is generally what you say here to gauge how someone's feeling. Be a hug. Be a hug. Seriously, everyone else gets a hug. I want one. One for Natsuki, please. Totally unsure of what to do, Yuri can barely find the words of support to offer. Meanwhile, the sound of Natsuki's unusually hard breathing fills the air. Also, this is very strong of Natsuki. Of course, blocking them may seem like, she's terrified. She's just cut off contact with her friends for many years. Because she wants to be better. She's so sick of giving up what she cares about to make other people happy. Then she speaks again, barely above a whisper. Help me. I feel sick and I want to hit my head against things. Please help. I can't take this. You may be having a panic attack. With that realization, Yuri's demeanor suddenly changes. I have experience with this, so I'll help you through it, okay? Natsuki meekly nods through her rapid breath, her head still buried in her knees. Yuri slides herself behind Natsuki and sits on top of the step behind her. Then she puts her hands on Natsuki's shoulders. Can you feel my hands? Natsuki nods. Her shaking becomes more apparent through Yuri's sense of touch. Yuri keeps her voice low and gentle. You're safe right now. You're in a good and safe place where nothing can hurt you. Natsuki nods once more. Although Yuri's only touching Natsuki's shoulders, she can practically feel her racing pulse through the base of her neck. We'll do a breathing exercise together. All you have to do is listen to my breaths and breathe along with me. Let's breathe in now. I was gonna do it along with them, but there's a lot of dialogue here. Beneath her hands, she feels Natsuki's shoulders rises. Natsuki takes a breath of her own, trying to mimic Yuri. They exhale together, although Natsuki's breath shakes on the way out. I actually feel so bad for Natsuki. That's good. Let's keep going. Yuri breathes in once more and Natsuki joins her. They continue like that for a few more cycles, while Yuri closely monitors. Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Did I read that wrong? Eventually, Yuri feels Natsuki rest more of her weight into Yuri's palms. Let's focus on the physical world. Oh fuck, I read that wrong. Let's focus on the physical world. All you have to do is focus on the feeling of your breaths going in and out, and the weight of my hands on your shoulders. You're in a safe and comfortable physical space. Minutes pass in silence. By now the worst of it has passed, but Yuri is determined not to move away until Natsuki prompts her to. Meanwhile, Natsuki has lifted her head off her knees, and her breathing has mostly steadied. Then she takes a final deep breath and slowly pulls herself to her feet, causing Yuri to let go. She stretches her arms. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to freak out. I don't know what my deal is. You don't have to apologize. This must be enormously stressful for you. Is that going to keep happening? It may, or it may not. We can take measures to help prevent it in the future, but I think it will naturally get better over time. Natsuki motions to sit back down, so Yuri moves over. Yuri turns away to pick up her open book from the dusty floor, which she had hastily set it down earlier. She brushes the dust off the cover. I don't think I could have got through that alone. You're not alone. Feeling shy again, Yuri speaks into her own lap. From now on, you don't have to do anything alone. Hug, 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 hug. As she says that, Yuri tenses up. It's rare for her to so openly share her thoughts. But something about Natsuki, of all people, makes it feel so much more natural to do so. Perhaps because, like Yuri, Natsuki is so timid and uncertain of herself. Natsuki does such a good job at hiding it that it's taken such a long time for Yuri to finally realize it. And because of that, Yuri is able to deliver the reassurance that she herself would have wanted. Demonstrating that you deserve the love of others. You know what? I can actually say I'm satisfied with Yuri's character arc that technically gets retconned in the game, but also doesn't, because the game has established that this is a parallel universe that happens at the same time and is canonical. If you can accept that for the first time, then perhaps you can begin to tumultuous journey of learning to love yourself. If that's wrong, well, sue me because I suck at English. I'm pissed. And also, fuck me, this art is the most jarring of them all. Do you really mean that? You're probably gonna end up regret. You're probably gonna regret saying that if you do. How so? Because I'm probably gonna have a lot of free time during the weekends from now on. So you're giving me permission to be as annoying as I want and drag you around to a lot of places. I see. But you already said it, so you can't take it back now. Ah. I suppose I have no choice but to accept that responsibility then. This art. Like, I very rarely disagree with the art choices in the game. The last one with Yuri smiling was a bit like that one was off-putting because we'd actually never seen a pure Yuri smiling one, but this is not consistent with the rest of the artwork in the game, and like I don't know, it's kind of, oh man. I know a good ice cream place. Oh, that means you'll finally figure out my favorite ice cream flavor. Huh? What are you talking about? Oh, you don't remember? The first day that you came to the club, you guessed everyone's favorite ice cream flavor, but for me, you said you had no idea. Seriously? I don't remember that at all. Oh wait, yeah I do. I said it was probably green tea. Yuri shakes her head. It's a good guess, but my favorite to get is chocolate and raspberry together. Chocolate and raspberry? How fancy. How is that fancy? Oh, I don't know. I feel like I should have guessed something like that. Well, maybe next time I'll try chocolate and strawberry. Hey, strawberry's my favorite. What a coincidence. I think it helps to have something to look forward to. I still have the sick feeling in my stomach, but it's easier now to convince myself that I did the right thing. Is there anything better I could be doing? Hug, hug, hug. Not that I know of. There's nothing that will make this easy for me. And you already did more than I thought anyone could. Come to think of it, we never talked about the letter you wrote. But I feel like we're way past that at this point. I don't even know what to talk about. Except that I think it helped me understand my needs a little bit better. The way I like to be treated. And the kinds of friends I want to have. That's why I wanted to start coming here in the first place. Even though I was so scared of causing more problems. I thought it was a coincidence that you ran into me here initially. Oh, well, not exactly. What do you mean? Nothing. I may have tracked you down first. With the help of Sayori. That's... You said? I was shy, okay? I wasn't ready to like... Whatever, you know what I'm saying. Well... I guess I'm glad you worked up the courage. Even if it was in your own way. Come on, that's kind of rude. I can tell you've been making a lot of difficult decisions. It's brave, and it will make things better in the long run. I genuinely agree with Yuri here, but I think anyone would be proud of you for it. I think the short-term stuff is gonna hurt for a while. Anyone? You mean, like you? Yes, like me. You know, I could get used to this. As long as you don't tease me too much. Fine. Just a little then. That's fine. I know how uncertain everything feels to you right now. But I really do think that good things are in store. Those are my honest feelings. Thanks. It feels nice to be reassured. The two girls continued their conversation through the remainder of lunch. But a new feeling hangs in the air, a feeling of greater certainty in their path forward. In just a few hours, there'll be another literature club meeting where the 4 club members will happily spend time together. Each of them, all with their own special qualities, something unique they can deliver to one another. Although the friendship and literature, it's meant to be through friendship and literature, the club members will continue to grow and find new happiness together. The end of each chapter is the start of the next. Yuri thinks to herself, since she's about to finish her long-running series, it would be best to have a new book lined up. Perhaps this weekend would be a good time to visit the bookstore. Perhaps this would be a good time for my hand to not be numb, but you know, together. Hype, hype, hype. The final chapter equals, which we'll do next time. Alright, look, I'm going to reaffirm that this shit's fucking weird. Like, there have been varying art styles in the game, and I've been, like, for the most part it works. Monica being a character that has had her model changed a couple of times. Look, here it's a bit more loose, here it's more loose, here it's more loose, here it's more loose, but this one here, it's just the way the heads are. Anyway. I guess it's not as jarring, it just looks fucking weird when it comes out of nowhere. Male. Issues caused by unprotected memory. Remember, kids, always put something on your memory. Has anyone evaluated the side effects that might be caused by sharing memory pool between multiple virtual machines rather than allocating them separately? I'm looking at some of the files VM1 is generating. I'm finding some information that definitely shouldn't be there. I haven't seen any evidence that this is actually affecting the inside of the VM itself, so I don't think this is a priority. It's definitely worth noting. My best guess is that the memory being freed from VM2 isn't getting zeroed out, which technically gives VM1 access to it. All the info I have will go into the issue tracker, but I wanted to check if anyone else already noticed something along these lines. It would actually be like really nice if by completing all of these, the main story changed in some way. But I fucking doubt it. Anyway, we all know the drill. Hope you know that you're loved, cared for. I wish that you have good friends in your life. And I hope that you don't have a panic attack. I hope to see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.